My beautiful friends, let's do a reading, and I want to start with you. So we're going to start with this deck. It's one of my favorite decks now, the Unspoken Oracle. So we're going to see what's going on with you, and then we'll see what this reading is about. So let's have a look. I'm just going to shuffle once. All right, so what is going on? What beautiful collective are we tapping into today? Let's have a look at the bottom. Fated encounter. Crossed paths by destiny, familiar souls, instant attraction, divine timing at play, and surrender. So you could be dealing with a connection that feels fated. I'm hearing soul recognition. I am safe. Everything is okay. That's your affirmation. True. And right now you could be trusting in divine timing because we have divine timing is at play within this fated encounter. And then letting go of control, trusting divine order, releasing expectations, flowing with grace. All right, so let's see what's going on here for you. This collective, let's have a look. One more. We'll start with 3. Well, we have 4. All right, so we have the apology. We have glow up era, beautiful, confidence rising, reclaiming power, no longer seeking validation, becoming unforgettable. So right now you would be in your glow up era, you'd be glowing. Reclaiming your power, so this could have been a connection where you had to reclaim your power, put up boundaries. On the bottom, I am seeing breadcrumbs. So this person, there could have been mixed signals, inconsistent effort, emotional avoidance. Keeps the door half open. And this says reclaiming power. So I feel like you're no longer accepting crumbs from this person. We have the comeback. What's going on here? The test. Okay. Okay. All right. Have you heard from this person? All right, we have the test. Fated encounter, divine timing is at play. Right? The test. Temptation returns, familiar lessons repeat, patterns resurfacing, spirit testing growth. And we have the comeback. Unexpected message, trying to reconnect, regret surfaces, curiosity about what's changed. What's changed with you, I'm hearing. So you're glowing right now, right? So you'd be in very magnetic energy. No longer seeking validation from outside of yourself, which is so important because validation comes from within. I don't think this has come in yet. I'm going to get a few cards to confirm. But this feels, we have the test, right? And the comeback. So someone... Yeah, glow up revenge, watching from afar. So whoever this is watching you from afar. But this person was clearly not meeting your needs or your expectations. And you were definitely accepting less than you deserved, right? And that happens when we don't have that confidence. When we're searching for something outside of ourselves, we look for it in others or external factors. Now we have the comeback, the test, and the apology. So the real, it's like that coming up for review, right? Your spiritual growth, I feel like, is about to be tested. I don't think this has come through yet. And you're either going to get breadcrumbs again, right? A familiar pattern will repeat, or they're coming in with an actual apology. This says acknowledging wrongs, emotional sincerity, healing conversation, forgiveness opens doors. So you're probably someone who has already found forgiveness for this person on your own, is what I'm hearing. I'm curious. Let's just see. I just want to see if this has come in yet. So I'm just going to cut the deck, and I'm just going to get 3 cards. Spirit will probably give me 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so we do have, it didn't come out, but I'm seeing talking, which means it's coming. Somebody's hovering over their phone right now. We have twin flames. Yin and yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complementing each other. So you, I'll just wait a minute before I say that. We have the golden mirror. So you could have been dealing with what felt like a one-sided connection. You could have been dealing with someone who was more self-focused. And you know what's interesting, right? The golden mirror and twin flames. So true twin flames, right? Fated encounter. They're meant to mirror back to you what you need to heal within you. And if this person, if they were reflecting back to you, like if you saw them as very self-absorbed, always prioritizing themselves, giving you breadcrumbs, I'm hearing that would have been reflecting back to you that you weren't prioritizing yourself enough, that you were prioritizing this person. Just one second. Okay, I'm back. My hair was driving me crazy. So again, this person, if they were like if you found them very self-focused, self-absorbed, and it says narcissist, but that's an overused label, but they could have had tendencies that made you feel that way. And they were probably mirroring back to you not to accept that anymore, right? Because we only accept that kind of energy if we're not valuing ourselves enough, right? And I see you standing in your power, so you wouldn't accept this energy anymore is what I'm hearing. And we have coffin. So there was like a final nail in the coffin. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, transition. So it feels like I said, it feels like you're about to be tested, because I feel like however, fated encounter, divine timing at play, I feel like however this person was showing up in the past, breadcrumbs, self-focused, I feel like you hit your breaking point. Right, you're attracting this person's attention right now, and we have test and the comeback. So it feels like this person is about to pop back into your energy and your spiritual growth is about to be tested. And I'm not saying this person is coming in not changed. I don't know. But this is a test for you, is what I'm hearing. Can you hold this frequency? Which I think you can. And again, what we're looking for here, what we want here is an actual apology where you're both acknowledging wrongs, emotional sincerity, healing conversation. So if this comes back in and it's exactly the same, pass that test. Don't accept those crumbs, right? I'm keeping those black cards right here for a moment. So I'm going to get you one more card. One more card. Big realizations, clarity. Spiritual awakening, beautiful. So you could be going through a spiritual awakening right now. Expanded awareness, emotional breakthroughs, new perspective on life. And I'm looking at you first. And if you truly are, I have to say this, if you truly are a twin flame, if you truly resonate with divine feminine, then you should want to hear about yourself. And that's why I always start with you. Yeah, we have drifting apart. So I feel this says different paths, changing priorities. I'm not sure if there were no hard feelings, but growth creating distance. And I feel like for whoever you are, you started growing and evolving. You started going through your spiritual awakening. You started having a shift in perspective. And all of a sudden, you and this person weren't aligning on the same frequency anymore. And especially if they were just giving you crumbs and you were focused on self-worth and healing and no longer seeking validation from outside of yourself, those crumbs wouldn't have been enough for you, right? You would have felt like it looks here like you started healing. And I always say this, if only one person is healing, it's not, you both have. you both have to be healing, because this doesn't just happen in relationships, it happens with friendships. As you spiritually awaken, as you have ego deaths, as you change frequencies, right? You start outgrowing certain dynamics. And I feel like that's what happened here. It's like you had a perspective shift and you started realizing your worth. And then all of a sudden, those crumbs you were getting were not attractive anymore, right? Because you were able to give yourself more than this person was giving you, is what I'm hearing. So big realization. And you could be feeling that. Like you could be having the realization that one of the reasons you grew apart is because you just weren't aligning anymore. I'm not looking at your person's energy yet, right? Like they could be having a big realization themselves, but I'm looking at you right now. All right. Glow up era. Glow up era. I love it, right? Like there's so many divine feminines rising right now. Rise, rise, my little phoenixes. Lesson learned. This is what I'm talking about. You've learned a lesson here. I think that this person made you doubt your worth, and I'm not saying that they were doing it on purpose. I feel like that's what it triggered within you. Especially if you were accepting those crumbs. It says imposter syndrome. So I hope when I said divine feminines, like rise, my little phoenixes, I hope you're not feeling imposter syndrome about your glow up, right? I always say sometimes when we're glowing up, we don't even know that we're glowing up. It's the people around us that notice, right? They start telling us, oh, what did you do differently? And you're like, nothing. Because this does say doubting talent, comparing journeys, forgetting your worth. Time to own your achievements. It's time to own those achievements. You've learned valuable lessons here. Awareness gained. Right? That's what I'm hearing. I feel like this person, again, triggered something within you. Do I think you were in this glow up energy when you met them? I don't know. I think that they triggered self-doubt. I'm seeing that not enough card. So I feel like they triggered self-doubt within you. And again, when you're accepting crumbs and you start to heal, those crumbs don't fill you up anymore. But don't doubt yourself, right? If you feel like maybe you don't, I'm going to get one more for this one. One more for glow up era. Nothing. Divine timing, pause with purpose, everything aligning, universe at work, trust in divine timing. I feel like you were trusting and we had that lesson learned. So I feel like you're seeing this, right? I feel like you're seeing that you've gone from someone who would accept crumbs, who would look outside of yourself for validation. And you're seeing how magical you truly are and how this all had to happen in divine timing, or this all was supposed to happen. It always makes me sad when people have regrets for people they met or experiences they had or tough lessons they had to learn, because every one of those things led you to exactly who you are today. They were part of your journey. Don't doubt yourself. Don't compare yourselves to others' journeys, right? We're all on different journeys. Some are farther ahead, some are farther behind. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to anybody but the old version of you, right? The past version of you that would accept those crumbs, who did doubt themselves. I feel like whoever you are, you are choosing yourself over crumbs. The apology. The apology. Spiritual awakening. Family patterns. This says acknowledging wrongs. So I feel like you are someone who is I don't want to say acknowledging wrongs, but acknowledging how your family patterns possibly kept you stuck in a cycle with this person, right? Cycles repeating, generational healing, awareness brings peace, breaking what no longer serves you. And I always say when we're a child, we can't just set boundaries and like if we're being mistreated by our family and we're children, right, we kind of have to learn how to adapt. That's where those survival patterns come from. And I feel like whoever you are, I do feel like you've forgiven this person or you've found forgiveness within you for them instead of waiting for an apology, right? I feel like you're forgiving yourself too for the cycles that you repeated, because again, we can be hard on ourselves for repetitive cycles that we become stuck in, right? I talk about this all the time, that we sit around, like we can sit around and we can say, I don't like this behavior. I don't like how they're, treating me this way. And we wait for them to change when really it's us that needs to change. But no matter how many times that cycle repeated, no matter how many times you burned yourself, it was so that you could learn a lesson. Spiritual awakening. Signs are everywhere. Expanded awareness, emotional breakthroughs, new perspective on life, new perspective on yourself, on your life, on friendships, on this connection, on love, on family patterns. And I do feel like you're done with the patterns. So if they do pop back in, they're going to have to come in with a proper apology, because you're not going to accept those crumbs anymore. I'm seeing that little, I'm seeing Dakota Fanning. There's a video on social media where she's like, she's not here anymore. That girl, she's not here anymore. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not saying you're a girl. But I think in the past, if this person popped up, you probably would have repeated a pattern here, where this time I do feel like you're looking for real change and to see real growth. The test is the middle card, so this is going to be important for you guys. We don't want to go backwards, is what I'm hearing. The test. We have friend or foe. Hidden competition, two-faced energy, smiling through Genesee. Jen? Is your name Jen? Watch the company that you're keeping. So right now you could be being tested, because it's not just this person that you're connected to that's going to come in and test you, is what I'm hearing. Spirit will send you tests in other forms, in other humans, in other meat suits, situations, right? So you may have a familiar pattern that's starting to repeat somewhere else in your life with another person, or you could be tested through a friendship, through a coworker, through a family member. I think that whoever you are, like, you're in glow up energy, right? On the bottom, it says heightened awareness. On the bottom, it says inner glow, peace within, calm confidence, authentic beauty radiates, alignment feels magnetic. And it's interesting that friend or foe is coming out for your test. So you could have somebody in your life right now that is maybe, there's a pattern resurfacing, right? That's familiar, that happened in your connection with this person, where you're being tested to make different choices. This could be someone, it says hidden competition. So you could have someone in your energy who is like low-key threatened by your glow up. They could be a little bit jealous, a little bit envious. So just be aware of that, because this does say watch the company kept. And it's not just about healing the pattern with this person, right? We have the twin flame card there. It's about healing that pattern in all areas of your life. So no longer accepting less than you deserve, no longer You know, true friendship is not competitive. True friendship is not competitive. True friendship, you support each other, you lift each other up, you're happy for each other's accomplishments, right? I'm going to get one more for this one. And if you have any mutual acquaintances with this person and you have somebody that knows them that's coming in asking you for information, just be careful, right? It could be like if it's a mutual acquaintance, I'm hearing, you could be tested that way. One more. We have family reconnection here, right? Healing conversation, new understanding, letting go of resentment, rebuilding roots. Now, if you are doing this, I'm very happy for you. But this test, right? We have friends and family here. So you could be being tested through friends and family right now. And hopefully, one thing I see a lot is that we make it all about, like, people make it all about the person. Oh, I'm going to get tested by my person. No, Spirit seems to be sending you in family and friend tests here, right? You shouldn't have to shrink yourself for anyone. You shouldn't have to hide parts of yourself for anyone. The people around you should be uplifting you, right? And that's how you change what you're calling in. So if you are repeating patterns with family and friends that you repeated with this person, you also have to heal that within those connections. Hopefully I'm making sense, because whoever we're aligned with affects our frequency, right? So if we're aligned with somebody that's in this envious kind of energy, they're kind of bringing our frequency down. I think you're being tested with family and friends right now. And again, it's not just about not accepting less than you deserve from this person. It's also about the other areas in your life. All right, the comeback. Unexpected. Surrender season, yes. So like, even, I hate friends and family that don't align with you, or that are bringing your energy down, or that are jealous of your accomplishments. You know, even sometimes they mean well. They can make comments that kind of make us, that put doubt in us about ourselves. It's time to surrender those. It's time to surrender. You know, speaking from experience, when you surrender things that are not aligned with you anymore, it makes room for the friendships, the connections. We have dream job alignment on the bottom. The experiences that are aligned with you. The comeback. Fated encounter. So it's this person, nothing. This person is going to be making a comeback, right? And you're either going to, you're being tested on your spiritual growth. So it's going to be really important for you not to repeat the same patterns, right? Learn your lesson. Don't repeat it. If you live in distance, like close proximity, it could even be that you cross paths with this person if you live in the same area. Crossing paths by destiny, familiar sounds, instant attraction, divine timing at play. Underneath the comeback, unexpected message. Trying to reconnect. Regret resurfaces. Curiosity about what has changed. Right? And it's completely okay to be curious about what has changed. Have they changed? But if there's no change, then it's not the right time and you're going to pass your test. Divine detour. Interesting. So if you... I'm hearing a few things, right? If you get the urge to take a different way home from work, like let's say you and this person live in the same proximity to each other, and you feel, you know, divinely guided to take a different way home, or you feel divinely guided to go somewhere, you could end up running into this person. Also, for those of you where this person comes back, fated encounter, right? Divine, it says divine timing at play, the comeback. If this person comes back and they haven't shown any change, it doesn't mean they were never my twin flame, right? It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that you're not doing enough. It means that it's a test and that rejection is protection. So if they're not in the right energy, if they're still coming in with crumbs, glow up. Divine feminine would never accept crumbs. Never. So if you have to reject this, it's part of your journey, and it doesn't mean, like, a lot of people have this fear, if I reject it, what if they never come back? If they're not going to come back in the right energy, they're not aligned with you, right? If it's meant to be, it'll come back around in the right way. Divine timing is at play here. Delay with purpose, right? So if they come back in, fated encounter, and there's been no change, right? We have this drifting apart at the end. Like, they may come in and you may realize there has been no change, and you might not even be attracted to the energy this person is in. Because if you truly are glowing up, you'd be making healthier choices. This wouldn't be attractive to you, I'm hearing. So if you need to, delay with purpose, right? Because if you've been growing and healing and you're in this glow up energy and they come back and they haven't changed, you're not going to be able to, you don't want to get sucked back into that, is what I'm hearing. Redirection towards alignment, right? So if this person hasn't changed and you have to keep your boundaries up, staying strong, protecting your power, it's redirecting them and you. Universe is at work. And again, so many people fear that if they don't take that offer or they don't jump on, like, that crumb, that they're never going to hear from that person again. You want them to come in with a whole loaf of bread, is what I'm hearing. If they come in with a crumb, it's not the right time. Pass your test. Choose yourself. I think you would anyway. Because you're in this glow up. And if you're being tested here and you start accepting less than you deserve out of, fear of being alone or out of being lonely or just out of fear that they'll never come back, that's going to dim your little light, my friend. Big realization. Drifting apart. Inner child healing. So this is what I mean. If you're truly on this journey, you would be healing. And those crumbs, right? You probably started healing while you were with this person, I'm hearing. And when you have that, like, wounded inner child, you're kind of recreating situations from your childhood, right? Fresh start. And at one time, because you were unhealed, crumbs would have been enough. But if you're truly healing your inner child, soothing old wounds, playful rediscovery, safe to be soft again, and this person came in guarded and cold and not giving you energy, you wouldn't want it anymore. You wouldn't want that for your little inner child anymore. And whoever you are, I do feel like you were reconnecting with joy and healing that inner child, and that's because you were going through growth and possibly they weren't, that it did cause the both of you to drift apart. It's like the caterpillar and the butterfly, right? I'm not saying caterpillars and butterflies can't be friends, but once you become that butterfly and you have wings, you want to fly. And those people with their feet still on the ground, we can't always wait for them. Waiting creates stagnation. And again, if this person comes back with the same energy, I feel like you're going to have a realization that you're going to feel, that's not attractive to me anymore. I don't want that. I want more. I want more for my inner child. I want more for me, right? And on the bottom, fresh start. New beginnings, positive outlook, clean energy, ready for aligned opportunities. Exactly. If it doesn't feel, and you'll feel if it's aligned with you or not, right? It'll feel, if it's not aligned with you, there will be resistance. If it's aligned with you, you'll feel that spark, right? You'll feel that alignment. All right. I'm just going to let's just get 2 more of these. Somebody's hovering over their phone. Self-indulgence, yes. Focus on self, you. Self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. And again, if there's no change here in them, the comeback, keep focusing on self with surrender, right? I'm just looking at my calendar here. Tuesday, July 7th. This is a timeless reading, but last quarter moon in Aries, Neptune goes retrograde, inviting introspection and spiritual reflection. Under today's last quarter moon, it's the perfect time to look within and be honest about what you need to make peace with for your own well-being. Interesting. Yeah, we have Hand of Cards here, so it feels like somebody is going to take a risk here. And this is how I'm seeing this. Like, you were over here in Glow Up Energy. We have Hand of Cards, take a chance, not showing hand. So, like, if this person comes in and they're still guarded and they're not showing growth, it's going to be important to choose yourself, okay? Healing heart. You don't want to take steps backwards. Healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship. You're putting your heart back together. I love this little image of her sewing her heart back together, right? You don't want to let somebody rip out all those stitches. All right. So, you. I'm trying to decide what deck to get you. Whoops. What deck to get you? What deck? What deck? No, I don't want to get this one yet. I'm going to get you a couple of these. Let's get a couple of these. This is a Divine Feminine deck, so these cards are about you. All right, we have toxic addictions, substances or behaviors used to numb feelings, and surrender. So you're surrendering these toxic addictions. Maybe surrender the toxic additions in your life, right? Even behaviors, toxic addiction. Why do I keep saying additions? Toxic addictions. That includes being codependently attached to someone, right? Or accepting less than you deserve. And you're surrendering these, letting go of negativity, listening to higher wisdom from yourself, shifting out of ego into your full soul. It says soul self. I don't know why I said full. You freed yourself from those chains. Don't go back. All right. Your energy. What do we need to know about your energy? What do we need to know about your energy? The birds are singing for you. Spirituality, yes. Feeling connected to higher power, a higher power, the universe, a force larger than themselves. Source, I'm hearing the divine. Dignity, beautiful. Choosing yourself and walking away out of self-respect. Knowing your value and your self-worth. So listen, if you truly know your value, if you truly are in your self-worth, you would not accept crumbs anymore. flow, you, detached, accepting and no longer feeling the need to alter or control the situation. This is beautiful. I love this energy. Joy comes from within. You're realizing that joy, happiness comes from within you. And anything in your outer world that doesn't make you joyful or happy or brings you down or is negative, right? You're releasing it. Happiness, pleasure, gratitude. Look at you. This is beautiful. I love when I see this energy. Healing guilt wounds, surrendering. I feel, right, because this says accepting and no longer feeling the need to alter or control situations. You're finding your happiness within, where in the past, I feel you had these childhood wounds where you were afraid to set boundaries with anything that didn't align with you. You know what I'm hearing? If you were watching a movie of yourself, right? You, the main character, the hero, or whatever of the movie. If you were sitting on your couch watching that movie, what would you be yelling at? What would you be yelling at that character to do, right? If they were surrounded by negativity, if they were accepting less than they deserved, if they had toxic situations, you'd be yelling at that TV, you deserve better, right? So I do feel like you are clearly you've learned how to set boundaries in your life. Very important. And Bree said this yesterday, and I agree. Like, I love when I see this energy. I get so happy. You guys know that when like Divine Feminine comes out, because that's what I'm here to do. Like, I am here to help get out of that longing, get out of that attachment. It makes me so sad when people don't want to hear how they're doing. They're like, I just want to hear about my person. That means you're still in attachment. Why would you want to hear about your person when you can hear about you? Anyway. And that includes setting boundaries with other people in your life. I said that. All right, let's keep going. Your energy. Music. So you could be listening to music right now. And I always say this, music does affect your mood. Also, messages received through music and lyrics. So you could definitely be somebody, maybe you channel music, but you could be hearing certain songs could be coming up for you right now. Pay attention to music you're hearing. Certain lines could be standing out to you. Certain songs could be following you around. I need to plug you in. Music. Let's get another one. Music. We have romantic partner. Or no, that says karmic partner. Interesting. The purpose of this connection is to learn lessons, provide personal growth and self-improvement required for their soul's journey. Exactly. And I'm not talking about, oh, they're just a karmic. I'm talking about like twin flames themselves teach you karmic lessons, right? And if you truly are a twin flame counterpart, I'm going to start calling them counterparts. The purpose of this connection, right? Like, people get hyper fixated on union. People get hyper fixated on being together. And again, it breaks my heart when I hear people talking about how they're just so stuck in longing for their person. You are the prize. You are the cake, right? So if you truly are on this journey, you would be learning lessons. You would be going through personal growth. You would be focused on your journey. You could be receiving signs like music from this person. And I'm not talking about them sending you music, although maybe they do. But really, I'm talking about if this is for you, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like when you're just going about your day and maybe you're in a store and a song comes on and like one verse just, it feels like somebody's speaking to you, right? But again, if you are on this journey and you are just stuck in longing, wanting to hear about your person, just kind of waiting for them to come back, you're going to get stuck. That's not what this journey is about. This journey brings you so many blessings that have nothing to do with them. It aligns you, right? It puts you on your path to your higher self. It aligns you with beautiful people. It aligns you with your mission. It aligns you with a healthier version of yourself, right? It's like sometimes I think that some of you, and I don't care, are missing the point of this journey. And if you are not doing these things, if you do not want to hear about yourself, then don't call yourself a divine feminine or a counterpart. Rare. They're rare. I'm seeing the peacock. Clarity, you. So you'd be knowing this if this is you. Able to see things clearly. Understanding situations, people, places, and things for what they truly are. Right? Not having that fear. You can look at a situation and be like, oh, that person's not aligned with me. That's okay. I'm on my own journey. Or you'd be looking at this clearly. You'd be able to see the difference in you, the lessons that you've learned. I think that too many people spend way too much time cursing the journey. When look at the beautiful gifts it's giving you. It's about the journey, not the destination, the journey. It's like when you're going on vacation. So many people just want to get to that vacation day. What about the anticipation? What about waking up early, being excited because in 3 months you're going on vacation, right? And the closer it gets, the more excited you get. It's about the journey. It's like when we were kids. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Ignoring the fun things to do along the way, like counting cows. Or have you guys ever seen the movie Eagle versus Shark? I love that movie. And in that movie, they play a car game where they say horse whenever they see a horse. And of course, in that movie, you know, her and this guy are in the car and she's playing this game horse with her brother. And the guy says, that sounds like a stupid game. And she's conforms. She's like, oh, I don't want to play this game anymore. It's stupid. But she's been playing it her whole life and it makes her happy. Anyway, clarity on the journey. You would see the change in you. Again, too many people spend way too much time. I wish I had never met that person. I wish this, I wish that. Like it all, divine timing, right? It's all destined, written in the stars is what I'm hearing. I can wish until the cows come home that I had an easy childhood. If I had an easy childhood, where would I be right now? I wouldn't be sitting here with you. Positive change 555 on the timer. I don't know where I'd be, and I don't really care to know. Anyway, it's like our ingredients. I don't know why I'm hearing this. It's like when you bake a cake, right? You need all the ingredients to become that cake. They're your journey, your experiences. They're all a part of who you are right now in this moment. One more for that. That was just faith. Having faith in the universe, I was just talking about, like it's written in the stars, having faith in your journey. It all happened for a reason. And that's not about spiritual bypassing. Having faith that things will work out with the divine masculine exactly as it's supposed to, right? You have faith here that if it's meant to be, it'll come back around in the right way. Trust what's aligned with you, right? Or what's aligning with you. Detached. Healthy. Love. Can I appreciate you for a minute? Can you just appreciate yourself and where you are on this journey? So many people get stuck. So many people get stuck. I love when this energy comes out. You're doing the work. You're doing it. Not needing things to work out a certain way, stopping to smell the roses, going with the flow. There's so much beauty in this world. There's so much love in this world, and we've been conditioned to feel like romantic love is the be all and end all, and having money and this and that and blah, blah, blah. There's love everywhere. Self-love, one of the most important forms of love. Love of your animals, love of your children, friends, nature, magic, spirituality, the divine. And we have heartbreak. So you're no longer in this heartbroken energy, right? I'm hearing woe is me. You know who used to be my favorite character ever? Eeyore. Because he was just so down in the dumps, and I was down in the dumps, and now I don't resonate with Eeyore at all, which makes me sad because I still love him. But you're no longer in this emotionally devastated place because of what happened with this person. You're in healthy detachment. Beautiful. Guidance. You're being guided. You're listening to your higher self. From higher self. Spirit. Guidance from trusted family and friends. Anyone with wisdom. Trusting your own inner guidance. And then we have divine masculine. So you could be hearing songs that remind you of this person. But also standing in your divine masculine energy, right? Because it's about having a balance of both. Knowing your worth. Having confidence. Going after your dreams. Taking action. Sacred masculine, divine feminine recognizes the divine masculine, and the connection feels like home. But it's like that's not your main that person is not your main focus anymore. All right. A lot came up for that one. You. What do we need to know about you? Oh, karmic family and friends. It's the same row. It's the same row. So you could have people in your energy that are blocking your manifestations right now, or blocking your energy. We have manifest, right? Visualizing, affirming, receiving. So you're in this energy where you're like, I'm hearing highly magnetic. And remember that row where we had the test and we had family and friends, and I was talking about people being aligned with you, the friend or foe, the family relationships. This does say karmic family and friends. So you could be being tested through other relationships in your life right now. And this happens too when you align with people that are more on the same frequency as you. But we have negativity. So you could have some negative people around you right now. Negativity, downward spiral, persistently focused on the negative thoughts, emotions, and perspectives. And that can bring you down, right? And it's not about, I only want to be friends with positive people. It's not about that. But when you are trying to ascend, I talk about it all the time with the crabs, right? When you are trying to ascend, or the chains that keep us stuck, you're in that hot air balloon, right? I always see a hot air balloon, and you're trying to ascend, and you've got people around you who are in a lower vibrational energy, I'm hearing riding your coattails. Not like that though, but they're like hanging on to the ropes of your hot air balloon because they want some of what you've got, right? They're drawn to your energy. But then there could be that friend or foe, right? That friend or foe energy. Anyway, if they're in a lower vibrational energy, if they're in a negative energy and you're trying to remain positive and you're trying to trust in your manifestations and you're trying to keep your vibrations high, that can weigh you down. And I always talk about the crab bucket, where there's a crab trying to get out of the bucket, and the minute that crab gets his claw over the top of the bucket, all the other crabs start grabbing onto that crab to either climb their way up or bring that crab back down. And that's why it's so important to release things that are no longer aligned with you, that keep you stuck in negative energy, including jobs, including living situations, including friendships, including family situationships, including negative mindsets that you have. That negative mindset, it's a little bit, it's, you know what, just before I started this, I was doom scrolling on Instagram. But to be fair, my Instagram, when I go through it, it's all like inspirational stuff, right? I love it. But I saw the scene from, it was talking about toxic people, and it was showing the scene from Cinderella, where Cinderella like just fell in love and she's being bombarded with chores, but she's like humming and nothing is getting her down. And the stepmother sees her humming and she like turns right dark and her eyes go green and she's like, "You're happy, I don't like it," right? There could be a message there for some of you. Negative people stuck in their negativity, and I hate to say this, will bring you down. Negative energy, it'll keep you stuck. And I'm not saying you have to be positive all the time, but if you still have negative people around you, right? And you're trying to trust in your journey and they're full of doubt and negativity, and when you like bring up things about magic and spirituality and they're like, "Oh, that's just because of global warming," or whatever, it can affect you trusting in yourself. And it's up to us to put up boundaries, right? We control who we let into our energy. Anyway. Next row. That was in the same row as I think you're being tested by family and friends right now. But the comeback was in a different row. Anyway, next row. One more. Hope. So having hope that things will work out. You could be hoping for a comeback message, right? Hoping that it comes in the right way. We have recognition. Being proud of yourself, giving yourself credit for all the hard work that you're putting into your journey. Exactly. So why would you go backwards? You have hope in this journey, and when you're connected to negative people, they can kill that hope, right? I think that's actually what keeps some people stuck, is surrounding themselves with people that don't believe, holding on to them out of fear of being alone. We have synchronicities, so seeing synchronicities, signs that you're on the right path, seeing angel numbers. But this isn't just about, oh, I saw 1111, so everything's going to be perfect, right? I mentioned that funny video, like, my life has fallen to poop and I see 1111, everything's going to be okay, right? That is funny. Whatever these synchronicities are, I feel like you'd be seeing synchronicities about self, not just connecting them to your person, right? Being proud of yourself, giving yourself credit for all the hard work you're doing, right? And it's not an easy journey. It's why so many people get stuck or give up hope. It's such a rewarding journey. One more for that one. Where am I going here? I hope you're not being impatient. Every time I say I can't wait, I'm correcting myself now because I don't want to put out that energy. I can wait. I'm trying to replace it with I'm looking forward to. Right? I think it's that you're no longer sitting in patience. You are recognizing the changes in you. These changes wouldn't have happened without this journey. You wouldn't be who you are right now. This journey changes you. That's one of the biggest signs to me that somebody's on this journey is the change they go through, the evolution, the soul growth, the ascension, wanting to help people, mission. Maybe you're someone like ever since I was young, I would say, I just want to help people. I just want to help people. That's part of being that divine feminine. You want to help people. And negativity and lack mindset and lack of belief and lack of hope doesn't get in your way. You have to break through that. Anyway, one more for that one. Stillness. Embracing the stillness, quieting your mind, staying connected to your true self. We also have this depressed. So I don't feel you're in this energy anymore. Depressed, feelings interfering with daily life, relationships, and overall well-being. Guess what? That's how it feels when you're stuck. That's how it feels before you, I feel like that's how you used to be. I feel like you used to have feelings interfering with your daily life, relationships, and overall well-being, and now you're proud of yourself. You're giving yourself credit for all the hard work you've put into your healing. You're different. You're different. No longer feeling depressed if you're sitting in stillness or, you don't have somebody in your life. All right. One more row. It's kind of a mess, but whatever. We'll just move it over here. There we go. One more row for you, my beautiful friend. Interesting. It didn't come out. But maybe you felt invisible as a child. All right. Last row. Last row. You could have been, well, let's just see what else is here. We have hope, holding on to hope that things will work out. So you have hope, but there's a difference between holding on to hope and staying stuck and trusting, like having hope grounded in discernment, I'm hearing. Interesting. We have Spirit Baby. I've never seen this card. Spirit guide connected to the divine feminine or divine masculine that is meant to be their future child, grandchild, niece, nephew, or good friend's child. That's really interesting. Maybe you've been dreaming about a baby. Spirit Baby. Maybe you've been dreaming about having a baby with this person, or maybe you lost a baby that's now your spirit baby. Maybe you have hope that you'll have children someday. We have shame here. Feeling painful, humiliation, or distress caused by understanding their wrong or foolish behavior. On the bottom, we have passive, avoiding direct or clear communication, making excuses, blaming others, playing victim, hiding anger. That's interesting. That's so out of place for the rest of your cards. I did say hope grounded in discernment, right? So maybe in the past you had a lot of hope for this connection, hope that you would have, like maybe you did have a child with this person or there was a pregnancy. Maybe there's I don't want to say it, but maybe there's a situation surrounding a pregnancy where you were passive when somebody wanted you to do something about that pregnancy. You could have been passive. Maybe you still have unresolved shame about that. I have to say it because it's here. Again, I was hearing hope. Hang on. All right, the other thing I was saying is I was hearing hope grounded in discernment. So you could have been that person in the past where you had hope for this, but you stayed in the situation hoping that things would change, right? You could have been in that very passive energy where you were accepting less than you deserved. You had a hard time putting up boundaries. You could have made excuses for this person, right? Well, maybe you had a dream that you were supposed to have a spirit baby with this person, and maybe that was part of it. Like, oh, I'm supposed to have a child with this person, so I'm going to hold on to hope that they'll change. Or you could have been overlooking red flags or excusing some not so healthy behavior because you saw this person as your twin flame, right? On the bottom, faith. So now you have faith that things will work out with the divine masculine exactly as it's supposed to, whatever that is. Trusting in yourself. All right. I am going to get your person's energy because we had that energy of the comeback. So I definitely want to see what that's about. But I'm not done with you yet. I'm not done with you. I think I want to get these for you. This is driving me crazy. Just stay flat. I gotta do something about it after. All right. Let's see what's coming out. You. Sun. The Emperor, divine masculine energy. You. Beautiful, right? Where in the past, maybe every time we were looking at you and you saw the Emperor, you thought, my person. No, this is you. The Emperor, independent, I don't want to say aggressive, active, energetic, leader, assertive, initiator, pioneer. Aries, you're lots of divine masculine energy here. So again, not focusing all your time and energy on pentacles, releasing fixer patterns, confidence, taking action, assertive, clear boundaries. The Sun. Yes, energy, power, climax, fulfilled, finding that inner fulfillment, right? Pride, radiance, success, vigor, divine masculine, daytime, victory, happy, warm. Beautiful. And we have stars, wishes do come true. Peace, miracle, dreams, feeling blessed, right? Feeling blessed to be on this journey, feeling blessed to have overcome these difficulties, feeling blessed to know what it feels like to have higher self-esteem, I'm hearing, to have that happiness, heart-centered, high self-esteem, the Lion King could be symbolic. I always see the lion, right? Dedicated to personal and spiritual growth. Strong. That was on the bottom. I just wanted to read it. And stars, wishes do come true. Finding your peace, believing in miracles, going after your dreams, feeling blessed, hopeful, falling in love with yourself, I'm hearing. Nighttime inspiration, providence. 6 of Cups. So March The 31st of a month could be symbolic. January 6th, June 16th, June 6th, March 1st, January 3rd. We also have 17 on the bottom, which always makes me think of the star Aquarius. January 7th, July 1st. I'm going to put that here. All right. Oh, I hope not. What's that about? We have the loons. I love loons. Anything black and white. Loons. 10. Deeply committed, uncommon bonds. Family, manifesting your deepest desires, all in for what you love, reawakening lost hopes. The loons. We have the clock, trusting in perfect timing, no longer getting yourself all worked up and anxious about when is it going to happen, right? Because we have mice here, which mice makes me think of anxiety, like it says, illness, fatigue, stress, right? Irritation, worry, fear, anxiety. It's such a waste of your time. And I don't mean that you can just snap your fingers and get rid of it, but like I deserve love and being loved. It's 111 and your affirmation is I deserve love and being loved, and that starts with you. That's why for a very long time, all of my readings are very focused on healing, right? But now trusting, you are trusting in perfect timing. You're no longer worrying about it. We spend so much time and energy worrying about things, right? Again, I spent my entire life anxious, always in fear about what's coming tomorrow, when it's just such a waste of energy. We need to trust that it's just a waste of energy to worry what tomorrow is going to bring. Just embrace what tomorrow is going to bring, right? Yeah, Gaia, Mother Earth, inner identity, remembering who you are, grounded, focusing on your purpose, experiencing duality, inner versus outer worlds, axis, polar opposites, fertility, practicality, center of everything. You are the center of everything. You are the main character. Balance, satisfying, right? You're trusting in the present moment is what I'm hearing. Trusting in perfect timing. The clock, perfect timing. Stands the test of time. Unstoppable. Standing in your strength. And then the little loonies. Deeply committed to yourself. Deeply committed to your journey. Trusting in the perfect timing. And we have Magician on the bottom as well. So you're trying to manifest things here, right? So if you do have like fear and anxiety and negativity or people around you in that energy, just be careful of that, right? You're being tested right now. The Magician to me is also, I talked about this the other day, right? It's when you're not just hyper fixated on manifesting one thing, right? You're focused on multiple things. Communication, ideas, talkative, expression, thoughts, manifester, resourceful, curious, electronics, conduit, inspired action. All right, let's keep going. Dates, October 23rd, October 19th could be symbolic. January could be symbolic. February 3rd, March 2nd, January 9th, September 1st. Right in the middle of your reading, we have middle of the season, purpose driven. So you're really focused on your purpose right now, the purpose of this journey, right? Secure, confident, gets it done, stubborn, bold, brave, reliable, conservative. You, someone that you can count on. And remember the test, right? I keep thinking of that middle row and how that middle row seems to keep repeating in some way. if it's not someone that you can count on, if it's not someone who's adding value, it's not the right time. You're not in alignment with them. You're in the middle of your season, enjoying your journey. And we have light bulb on the bottom. Aha moment, discovery, breakthrough, reveal, realize, enlightenment, epiphany, illumination, invention, intellect. Purpose driven right now. And again, if it's not someone, if this person comes in and they're not secure and confident and reliable and someone you can count on, you know it's not the right time. You know it. I can see it right here. You know it. And if it is, yes, spring into action, right? And that's how you need to approach things in your life right now, I feel like. Because we have spring. Yes, spring into action. So I'm hearing if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. But anyway, you have two of these. So you're making choices, right? If it doesn't feel aligned, you know it's not the right time, it's not aligned with me. If it feels like it's aligned with you, you jump into action, you take action towards it. New beginnings, fresh set goals and intentions, coming alive, growth, a surprise, increasing excitement, rejuvenate, fertile, new cycle. Yes, spring into action. Beautiful. And we have the Chariot, which means, again, the Chariot is about moving into alignment, right? And when we have towers getting in our way, stopping us from moving forward, that's Spirit trying to redirect us. Spirit's saying you're going the wrong way, your path is that way. So I'm seeing it right here. If it's not aligned, you're saying it's not the right time. But if it feels aligned, you're saying, yes, I'm taking action towards that. The Chariot. Beautiful. Chariot. Let's keep going. One more. We have the Fool. Opportunities. I love your energy. The Lion. The Lion. I love the Lion. You know what? You know that animal deck? I don't know if you guys like stuffed animals, but when I was younger, I couldn't pick a favorite stuffed animal. Like, I loved all my stuffed animals equally. I was worried about hurting their feelings. That animal deck, there's so many cards in that deck that I love equally, but the Lion is definitely one of my favorite. And the Lion doesn't have many friends, and that's okay, because the Lion is careful about who they let into their energy, because they're dedicated to personal and spiritual growth. Again, fair, just, devoted to your journey, majestic, high self-esteem, authority figure, pride, overcoming difficulties, heart-centered, ego. The Fool, opportunity, jump in, embrace the unknown, free spirit, just do it. Original, individuality, technology, innovation, rebel without a cause. And we have the Stepping Stone, the process of arrival, step by step, baby steps. What about Bob? How to keep on going, baby steps, progress, spiritual growth, enjoying the journey step by step, instead of trying to find like a high-speed jet to hop in and rush towards the end, right? The journey is beautiful. Can I just say that? Beautiful. 1717. So 1717 could be symbolic. That reduces to 888 could be symbolic. August 8th, January 7th, July 1st, September 19th could be symbolic. One more row for you. One more row. Divine Feminine. Look at you. Balancing Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine energy. One more. Thank you. We have the catalyst. So this has been this connection catalyst, right? It ignited something within you. Ignite, fuel, torched, fan the flames, infuse, breathe, kindle, spark, effort required, passion, get it going. 33. Effort is required on this journey. There's no shortcuts, is what I'm hearing. There's no exceptions, is what I'm hearing. You know that? I used to talk about that all the time. In that, is the movie He's Just Not That Into You? And she would say, or he said, you're the exception. There's no exception. It's not an easy journey. I used to feel years and years ago that, oh, that's not going to be me. I can make it easy. No. The moon, intuition, subconscious, fantasy, romance, affection, recognition, invitation, sensuality, artistic, divine feminine. And you have divine masculine on this side, divine feminine on this side, which I love. And we have the broom. I love this card too. Remove unwanted stuff. So anything that's not aligned with you, get rid of it. I need to go through my house, right? Like I want to make space in my house because I have like little doom piles. And this morning I was thinking of it like, it blocks energy. So maybe you're purging, a clean sweep, delete, total makeover, total makeover, you've changed. Restoring harmony. So anything in your life that doesn't belong, sweep it out of there. All right, 32, 33, 11. So November could be symbolic. March 3rd, March 2nd, February 3rd, January 1st. All right, I'm just gonna get tarot for you before I switch. Six of Pentacles, saving the planet. Captain Planet, he's our hero. That's what I'm hearing. Heart. Six of Pentacles. To me, the Six of Pentacles does talk about helping others. It's when you find that balance within and you can give to others without losing yourself. You know, focusing on balanced connections, balanced situations. Save the planet. Look at the little girl playing music with the polar bear. It's reminding me of a video I saw where there was a polar bear. I'm going to try and say it without crying. That was trying to manifest a friend, or maybe same difference is what I just heard. Soulmate, friend, same difference. And Bree sent it to me. And so this polar bear built a snow polar bear because it didn't have any friends. And everything it did with this snowman bear, this snow polar bear, making fun of walruses, eating fish, and it kept changing the way the little snow bear looked. And then when the sun started shining and it started to be summer, or it got warmer, whatever the season it was, I don't know, the snow bear started to melt. And the bear I know this is a weird story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. The bear sacrificed his home because he wanted to keep the melting snow friend that he made. And he ended up on somewhere else away from his home. And his little snowman bear, I was bawling when I was watching this. His little snowman bear friend melted. So all that was left was the rock nose. And he was really upset. And he found himself in this new area. And he went over the hill and he saw a snow bear that someone else had built. And he ran up to it and he was like, oh my gosh, a snow bear. And off in the distance, a snowball was coming towards him and he looked up and it was another bear who was doing the exact same thing. And we talk about when we manifest, right? Act like it's already yours. So these two I'm getting chills. These two polar bears manifested each other. Anyway, it was just, I was in tears. But yeah, focusing on things that are equal give and take, right? And balanced. hearing healer, mission. I'm going to say it. Two of Pentacles. All right. Nothing like Two of Pentacles. You don't want inconsistent. You don't want unbalanced anymore. You want balance. Maybe you're trying to find balance between your mission and your muggle job, right? That takes time. But we can't wait. If we wait for everything to align perfectly, right? If we wait for everything with our mission to align perfectly, if we're waiting to take action towards our mission or to go after our mission until everything's perfect and aligned, we're going to be waiting forever, right? Bree was talking about this, and I agree. If you truly are a divine feminine, you want to help people, you would make it part of your schedule, right? Like, again, I worked a full-time job with 4 kids while I worked towards my mission. I was planting those pentacles. And sometimes it's a balancing act where you have to balance both, but you make time for it. Anyway. I'm just going to get a few cards for you just to check. The Hierophant mission! But I also see the Hierophant as spiritual growth, learning spiritual lessons. The bear, Brother Bear. I was talking about Brother Bear with Brie. I love that movie. You know, his totem in that movie was the bear, love. And he was like, love? I want a cool one. That is cool. Maybe you're meant to help other divine feminines when it comes to love, right? Maybe that's your mission. Spiritual leader. Don't have a lack mindset. Right? You could be, I said that for a reason. Like, start taking baby steps, one baby step every day towards helping someone, even if it's just whatever your mission is, right? One baby step. Doesn't matter how many, like if you're online, a lot of us are online now, right? It doesn't matter how many views you're getting. It only matters, like I always say, the intention is to help one person. One. Who cares how many views you're getting? Who cares who's watching it? Who cares who's sharing the message, right? Yesterday, I saw this thing on Instagram, and I'm sorry for any therapists that are in my comment section, but it was this therapist, and it was like POV. Why are therapists becoming influencers? And the therapist was like, or sorry, I don't know if it was a POV. I'm out of touch. But anyway, she was saying that people ask her, why are therapists becoming influencers now? And she said, because influencers are becoming therapists. And that's not, I went on a rant about this with a muggle yesterday, because what does it matter? Like, people, influencers who are online, not everybody is doing it to be seen or for the likes. Not healers. That shouldn't be your focus. If that's your focus, that's not good. That's not good. I'm hearing greed. But anyway, your focus should be to help people. So even if you feel like you can help people with your words, even just posting, like starting an account and posting something inspiring, like say something inspiring. Who cares who sees it? Just get it out there, right? Anyway, there are lots of people. Why do I keep hearing a gate open? I hope that's not my gate. I'm just gonna go check. Hang on. Wasn't my gate. I don't know. I kept hearing a gate outside. Watch your boundaries, gates. But anyway. My feet are always moving me forward towards my goals. Exactly. But anyway, what was I saying? I was talking about that therapist. So it's not like there are people out there healing or spreading their healing message claiming that they're therapists. They're helping people heal through their own life experiences, which to me, that's what a true healer is. I've been to therapists who don't have the life experience, and I didn't find them very helpful. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone. The most impactful people to me are the people who have walked through the fire, right? The same fires that I have walked through. Anyway, I don't know where that came from, but that competition, right? Who cares as long as people are healing? True divine feminine, your purpose, you want people to heal, right? That competitive energy and like, I said it first and they stole my idea and I said that and then they said it and blah, blah, blah. It's just, why are you really doing it? Anyway. The sun shining your light. I'm hearing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. You know that other version? Okay. Your energy. It's weird. There's this card sitting here. Fame. It's not about fame. It's about helping others. All right. Your energy. Your energy. You could be letting that lack mindset stop you from going after your mission or your purpose. Right? And part of the... I can't talk while I'm shuffling. Part of the problem is too that like society makes us believe that, you know, or at least I was programmed to believe you can't do anything or achieve anything without a piece of paper. Without qualifications. Meanwhile, ignoring life experience. You shouldn't ignore life experience. Death, transformation. You, butterfly, what did I say? Sometimes you gotta leave those caterpillars behind. The world, completion. I've completely lost interest in looking at your person. I'm gonna be honest. But we have that comeback card, so I do need to check on your person. But if I'm feeling that, right, you'd be the type of person that is probably feeling right now like, well, I don't really need to hear about them either. Or maybe you're even at the point where you listen for your part, and then when it goes into the other person, you're like, nah, I'm done. Your energy. Seven of Swords in reverse. Beautiful. Are you trying to make a decision about something? Or you want a Queen of Wands? I love when the Queen of Wands comes out. Powerful, magnetic. Yesterday I was looking for my magnets. Guess where they were? They're under my butt. Queen of Wands, standing in your powers. Creativity, glow up energy, very magnetic, attracting attention. I love it. Six of Pentacles is poking out here. I feel like you do want to help others. No longer hiding from your mission, no longer deceiving yourself, no longer... You're seeing yourself clearly is what I'm hearing. Not putting up with anything less than you deserve. End of games, end of lies, setting the record straight. I am powerful. I like it. You know what else is interesting? We have this... I don't believe in accidents. Did you guys see that? On the bottom, we do have this Two of Swords, but the heart is outweighing the mind. So you're leading with your heart is what I'm hearing. If you look at this card, leading with your heart, following your heart's desires. That just fell out. Did you guys see that? Page of Pentacles, new opportunities, the start of a new endeavor, new job, mission. I'm going to keep saying it. For those of you who are annoyed with me saying it, just know there's an equal amount of people out there that have told me that they hear me saying mission when they're thinking about their mission, and it gives them the fuel to believe they can do it. And again, yeah, nice. You're awakening to your mission. But anyway, if you are bringing people down, if you are critiquing people, right? If you are bringing people down, if you're telling someone, I don't like this about you, you have free will. You don't have to watch that person. You don't have to be around that person. And why are you saying things to bring other people down? Because you're in a lower vibration. People in higher vibrations, people who are confident, right? People who believe in themselves, they lift up others. They do not put them down. I just had to say it. Page of Pentacles, right? New opportunities. New project. Maybe working on it quietly in the background in your spare time. Once I started, I wish I had started sooner, right? And I made time. I worked full time, and then I made time to do something towards my mission. And instantly, do you know what happened? I was filled up by my mission. And then when I went to do my job, photography, it was just not, it didn't feel aligned anymore. And that's how I knew what direction I was going. Anyway, we have Four of Swords in reverse on the bottom. Five of Swords in reverse, right? The end of self-sabotage. You're no longer getting in your own way. And I absolutely love this Five of Swords card. This is called the Highly Sensitive Tarot. She has two versions of it on Etsy. But look at this. It says stop the war, right? And that's what I'm talking about. If you call yourself a divine feminine or a spiritual person and you're putting others down, or you're saying, I don't like the way you talk, and I don't like the way you do this, and I don't like the way you do that, you're just creating conflict. Anyway, it's in reverse, so you're no longer getting in your own way. Four of Swords in reverse, release from isolation, right? No longer hiding is what I'm hearing. Reigniting passion, your inner spark, your little mission here, Page of Pentacles, I said little because it's the page, could be reigniting that spark within you. And when you reignite that spark, the things that are meant for you start coming towards you. I'm telling you right now, I would not have the people in my life I have in my life right now if I hadn't raised my vibration. If I had met Brie 3 years ago, I wouldn't have aligned with her. I mean, I did align with her, but I was like in the shadows, right? I was like this. I wish I could be that. She's an inspiration, right? True healers, true light workers inspire others. How do you do that? You shine your light and they see it, they feel it. It draws them in on a vibrational frequency. Anyway, you have Four of Swords in reverse. So releasing yourself from isolation, your spiritual isolation, getting back out there, reigniting passions, awakening, healing, right? Beautiful. And that Five of Swords in reverse. Knight of Pentacles, you are determined. Slow and steady, determined. I love that Knight of Pentacles. Never gives up. Entrepreneur, mission. And look, like, how much healthier is this, right? You're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about how can I inspire others. You're thinking about creating peace, not adding any more conflict to the world than there needs to be right now, right? There's enough. You're completely focused on those things. You're not focused on when this person is coming back. Beautiful, powerful. Again, the only reason I'm going to look at your person is because we had that comeback card. 2 more for you. We have 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is about... It is about walking away. It's about following your instincts, following your truth, no longer accepting less than you deserve. So it does look like, you know, we have justice here. So focusing on balance, things that don't align with you, right? You're walking away from them. You're not, I even said it in the first part. We have 5 of Pentacles and justice, which means anything, you're not holding on to things that aren't aligned with you out of fear of being alone or fear of abandonment or fear of rejection. You're choosing balance. I'm seeing you making a lot of positive changes, overcoming adversity, overcoming scarcity mindset. And if you still have that scarcity mindset, right, it's getting in your way. Queen of Cups, healer, intuitive, very intuitive. Dolphins, I love the dolphin. I'm seeing the dolphin card in the animal deck. Do you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing every little thing she does is magic, right? Innately intelligent, blessed, surrounding yourself with like-minded spirits, right? Queen of Cups. Healthy emotional boundaries. Healer. Focusing on self-love. I like it. Advice for you. Advice for you. 10 of Swords. There may be... I trust my instincts to make decisions that serve me. Remember I said truth and instincts, 8 of Cups? I said 2 of Swords, decision, and now I have the 10 of Swords. So what in your life needs to end? What in your life are you investing? We have this 10 of Swords, right? So there could be something in your life that needs to come to an end. Whatever that is. And if this came to an end or needs to come to an end, like let's say you're in a very unhealthy dynamic with this person, but you're watching this reading. This ending had to happen so that you could focus on self-mastery. And again, Bree said it, I said it the other day. But how can you help others if you don't walk through the fire? If you don't learn these lessons? If you don't embrace this journey? How are you supposed to help others? You can't until you've been through these lessons and you've found you, right? Again, for those of you still focusing on this person, stop focusing on them and focus on you. One more for advice. Heed the inner call. Heed the inner call. Again, how can you awaken others? How can you help others to go within and self-evaluate if you haven't healed your wounds? Heed the inner call. If you're attached to this person, your soul is calling for attention. If you are still missing this person, your soul is calling for attention. If you are, in resentment and anger towards this person, your soul is calling for attention. Heed the inner call. 8 of Cups, like, walk away from situations that don't serve your highest good or bring your vibration down. Heed the inner call. All right, I'm going to be back. I'm just going to take a quick break while I cleanse the energy. And then I'm going to come back and do your person, even though the only reason I'm doing it is because of that little, I think whoever you are, if they came back with a crumb, you would definitely know, right? Let me put it this way. I don't know why I'm feeling called to say this, but sometimes I feel like I have people who are watching me that are still in stuck energy, right? Think of everything, like the crumbs that you're putting up with, the repetitive cycle, the longing, the in and out, the on again, off again, the waiting. Think about all the beautiful things you could be doing and the beautiful light you could be sharing in this world and the people you could be helping and the way you could be changing. It does really make me sad that people are more interested in their person just coming back than they are in themselves. You are the main character of your life. You are the creator of your experience in this world. If we don't like something in our world, right, we have the power to change it. And I can hear some of your limiting beliefs coming through. And that's what they are. They're limiting beliefs and they're keeping you stuck. Mr. Crow agrees. Do you know what I want to do? I just want to get a couple of these cards for you because I'm just... Lady and the Tramp could be symbolic. Where are they? Hang on. Not that one. I have a point. Yeah, let's get the Self-Forgiveness Oracle. Masculine and Feminine Edition. Energy, not gender. I just want to get a couple of these for you. And again, that's why in divine counterpart readings, we spend so much time looking at you because the journey is about you. They're the catalyst, right? I'm doing a terrible job. No, I'm going to stop putting myself down. Stop that. On the bottom, I forgive myself for wanting others to see through my eyes by sharing my perspective. I choose to believe that allowing my unique perspective to be contrasted by another allows for clarification of what I really desire, ensuring I effectively create my dream life. I like that. I just want to get a few of these for you. What do you need to hear? Because we had it's called the Self-Forgiveness Oracle. I have a bunch of them. This is the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine edition. But maybe there's some things you're still holding on to. Oh, that's such a good one. It's all feminine cards coming out. All right. I forgive myself for worrying I may disappoint others in being true to myself. Who cares? Be true to yourself. Your opinion. Your Being true to yourself, very important. Your opinion is only, like, I don't mean your opinion is the only one that matters, but stop worrying that you're going to disappoint others and be true to yourself. And that's why it just grinds my gears. Is that the right expression? When people are like, I don't like this about you, and I don't like this about you, and be true to yourself, be authentic. It drives people crazy. I choose to believe that that by being loyal to myself, I encourage others to free themselves by shedding attachments to preconceived expectations. I forgive myself for betraying myself in order to show loyalty to another, right? Putting up with less than you deserve, accepting less than you deserve, allowing someone to hurt you again and again, and then say, why? Why do they keep hurting me? You are your own protector. I choose to believe that only I can know what is in my heart, and when I follow its gentle whispers, I am able to effortlessly embody my expansive divinity. And your intuition whispers, your anxiety screams. I forgive myself for taking on another's emotional reaction as my own. That's what unhealed empaths do, though. That's what we do as children because we don't know how to make sense of what's going on. So we attach our experience, or we attach our reality, we make it our own experience. So our parents pissed off and having an emotional reaction, it must be about us. I choose to believe that allowing others to take ownership of their emotional experiences empowers them to heed the loving message present within that emotion, right? Very important. If you're going to be doing mission work, you will trigger people. They will have emotional reactions towards you, but it's not about you, it's about them. Anyway, I forgive myself. If you haven't watched it, Bree did an amazing reading yesterday for Divine Feminines. I forgive myself for taking life more seriously than is helpful to me. Yeah, life is meant to be enjoyed, right? We're programmed from a very young age to be like, all work, no play. You got to go to school. You got to do this. Then you got to go to college and you got to get that piece of paper. Then you got to meet someone. You got to get married. You got to get a house. You got to get a white picket fence. Get a dog. Get a kid. Do this. Do that, right? Got to retire. We forget to enjoy life. I choose to believe that allowing myself to be more lighthearted during times of challenge creates the environment required to access a higher wisdom. All right, your person's energy. I'm just going to do a little quick check-in on them. Your person's energy. Your person's energy. Your person's, why do I keep saying your person's energy? We have over a month. Maybe it's been over a month to a year since you've heard from them. It could be over a month when this comeback message comes in. That's fine. Give them more time to cook in that oven. All right, let's see what's going on here. Be clear with your intentions when it comes to this. So we do have giving gifts. Very focused on their finances right now. Financial focus, building wealth, building stability. I said pill. I hope maybe they are taking pills. I don't know. Very focused on their finances right now. But this says new income, building wealth. We also have long lasting. So whatever they're working on right now, long lasting. Slowing down, take it easy, trying to reduce stress. We also have giving gifts. So this is where I'm seeing, that's giving me 6 of Pentacles. So they could be thinking about reaching out, right? We had that comeback card. Hasn't come in yet. Let's just see what else comes out. I want one more. Thriving. Yeah, so they're doing well right now, right? And you should want that for them. Some people watch just to hear how, like, I hope they're suffering. Like, this person seems to be on an upward trajectory, which is good, right? Learning how to slow down, learning not to overwork themselves, learning not to prioritize work above everything. We do have difficulties, so they're overcoming difficulties. So in the past, they could have felt like there could have been a lot of difficulties here, a lot of burdens. They could have felt like they were drowning, but it looks to me like your person is actually building stability here, which is what you want. They could be trying to get rid of negative energy. I just knocked that 3 times. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. I love that movie. Twice on the pipes, ding ding. Maybe they're looking for signs that you still think of them. I don't know. All right. Okay. So you could, that comeback, right? You could hear from someone who's a mutual acquaintance, or you could hear that they're doing better. They could reach out, that comeback message, tell you that they're doing better, because underneath financial focus, building wealth, we do have update message communication. So they could want to tell you this. We have self-improve. So personal development, they're prioritizing self. Healthier mindset, I'm hearing as well, with that healthy little brain. Healthier mindset. They're very clear on their intentions. So they know what they want. They're working towards it. I like that. So you could hear from this person that they are working on themselves. Or, you know, maybe you hear from someone or see something and you see that they're working on themselves. It feels like this is going to be communicated to you somehow by somebody. Giving gifts. We do have clear mentality, change outlook, mental attitude. With that giving gifts, okay, I always get the 6 of Pentacles with that energy. Shift. So this has to do with this comeback card that we're looking at, right? Giving gifts always gives me the energy of 6 of Pentacles, like 2 people exchanging energy. We do have yin and yang, balance, harmony, duality. So if this person, I don't think it would be this person. If your person reaches out because they're going through a difficult time, right? They could be missing your energy. They could reach out prematurely with that comeback card. I know this sounds terrible, but don't let them drag you out of balance. Remember what I said, when it's meant, when you shift, you've raised your vibration, right? Energetic shift. And when you raise your vibration, if this person comes in and if they haven't been through that shift, right? It won't feel balanced. You don't want this person to like pull you back down like the crabs I was talking about, right? Again, I'm not sure, like I feel like you're going to hear something about this person or from this person that they are doing better. But I'm seeing the movie Neverending Story because I watched it yesterday. We can't pull people out of the swamp of sadness. That's within them, right? I just saw, when I'm seeing this image in this hand, right? This person reaching for you, like, help me, I'm going through obstacles, I'm struggling. They reach out to you because you're at a higher vibration. If they haven't gone through that internal shift, I'm hearing like you could lose yourself in this, right? Unfortunately, Artax had to save himself. And Atreyu tried. You know, that's funny because they talk about the mirror in that movie, right? And the man tells Atreyu, Most men run away screaming from their reflection because they're not ready to look at themselves. And I'm not talking about men, I'm just talking about people. They said men in the movie. There needs to be an energetic shift here before you and this person can come into balance. And if they're still, like, this is good. It feels like they're on an upward trajectory. But if they're not, it's not the right time. Don't let them pull you back down. Yeah, we have talk here. Communicate, wanting to talk to you, but they want something long lasting here. Destiny. So they could even, maybe they're getting tarot readings, or maybe they have a belief that when it's meant to be, it'll be. Right? It feels to me like it's almost like this person is waiting until they can give you something long lasting before they reach out. Like this energy that I'm picking up on. This person could be in the mind, like what's coming through, I should stop saying maybe. What's coming through is that this person doesn't want to bring you back down. This update, right? This comeback, this message. I don't think it's a crumb. I think that this person is wanting to update you on their progress. They don't want to bring you into whatever they're still struggling with. They clearly want something long lasting with you. So they may, that little comeback, what did that card say? It said, I just want to look at it. Like, not every point of contact is, some points of contact are just a check-in, right? So this comeback, unexpected message, I am on a mission to be the healthiest version of myself. That's the affirmation that just came down when I'm talking about this person messaging you. Curiosity, right? Like curious. I think that this person, I do think you're going to get a message from them, but I think it's going to be more about, here's where I'm at, and I'm not where I need to be yet. And that'll be a test for you probably as well. There's no need to rush this, like this person isn't rushing. Neither are you. That's what's beautiful about it. One more for, well, we have silence, quiet, not talking, silent treatment, and we have deceit. Remember you had the Seven of Swords and boundaries. You had, I think this person, it says slow down, take it easy, reduce stress, right? So you had the Seven of Swords in reverse, and now you're feeling happier. So I definitely feel like this person's energy was affecting you in the past. You don't want to get sucked back into that cycle. I don't even know why I'm telling you that, because I don't think you would be. So if they come in, right, wanting to sneak around, don't respond, don't respond. And then we have reset. You're in alignment. Don't let them bring you out of alignment. But we do have start over, try again, back to basics. This is coming out with reduced stress. Slow down. Like this person has, this is about them slowing down. I think they went quiet because they knew that you were done with the games, especially if you put up boundaries. Let's get one more for that one. Didn't come out. Chemistry, magnetic bond. And we have fresh start, starting point. I need a couple more for this one. Or I just need to take a moment. Okay. Very important. I know I'm repeating myself a little, but this chemistry, don't let the magnetic bond, right? Don't let the magnetic bond cloud your inner knowing or your healthier mindset, right? Or your judgment. There's something about this person wanting a fresh start with you, but oh, thank you, Spirit. If this person is still in deceitful energy, silence, holding back, wearing a mask, right? You've alchemized your energy, you've transformed, so you wouldn't be feeling like this magnetic bond, you would be repelling it. So trust your energy. Okay, I'm gonna put those back in. Whoops. Thriving. What are they thriving with? One more. Spirit, close the deck. We have courage, strong, brave, emotional strength, upward trajectory, emotional strength. That's good. I'm hearing emotional maturity. We do have affectionate, so even being more affectionate, not as cold. And we have release, let go, free, liberate. So your person clearly releasing things in their life that no longer align with them. I think that this person, since you've released attachment, they have been growing, progressing. We also have this physical, affectionate energy. Interesting. So they definitely could be missing your touch here. 3 more for your person. What do we need to know about your person? 1 more. Oh dear. Where the heck did that come? Where did this energy come from? Okay. So I think in the past your person was unhealed. I create wealth and success in my life now. Interesting. February 11th, November 2nd could be symbolic. But these are for your person. So I do feel like they know they messed up. I feel like this person was hyperfixated on finances, perhaps. Learning how to take it more easy, right? Not putting everything towards work. You could have been dealing with a workaholic. They could have been very overworked. You could have burned yourself out in this connection, right? I'm seeing the 10 of Wands, like emotional burnout, overgiving, especially if this person was prioritizing other things over you, right? I do feel like this person is realizing where they messed up, where they made mistakes. I'm hearing they need more time. Self-improve. So they are working on self-improvement, personal development, prioritizing self, right? That's good. Overburning themselves out at work. What about that comeback card? I just want to be very specific. It'll be your choice. Yeah, unfinished. So incomplete, requires work, loose ends. Remember what I was hearing? I feel like that comeback message, it's either going to be from someone that knows them or it's going to be from them. And they're going to want to tell you, like, I'm seeing that channeled message. I don't know where I am on the journey, but I'm on it. Like, I'm walking home to you. I don't know where I am on the journey, but I am walking home to you. That's what I'm hearing. This person, right, telling you, could be someone that you both know tells you, but that this person, they still need to work on themselves. So I feel like this comeback message is actually just, I hate to say it, I'm hearing thinking of you and letting you know that they need more time, that they're still working on themselves. And reappear, right? We have reappear. We have breakup. So I definitely think they're reappearing here to let you know what's happening with them, but that they're still working on themselves, and that's okay, because you're still working on yourself. All right. I'm just going to get a couple of the Divine Masculine cards, but not many. I can always tell, though, like, if this is your reading, you'd be very focused on self, because I've been very focused on you. July 11th could be symbolic. We have opportunities. All right. Taking the opportunity for personal growth, right? To rest more. To become more emotionally strong. All right, you're a person. Your person. Where are they on their journey? Your person. Compromise. Wanting to openly express their needs and desires while respecting the divine feminine's perspective, finding a middle ground. Remember what I said, like this person could be just, I do feel like they want to communicate with you and find compromise with you. But what I was hearing is them saying like they want to find a middle ground, but that they're not quite there yet. Nothing. All right. Your person. Your person. Okay. Paying off karmic debts owed from past lives. So learning past, remember they had let go. So learning karmic lessons of change and balance. So right now they're receiving lessons about reciprocal energy. Interesting, because they had the giving gifts. Learning lessons of where they overindulge in life. Lessons of change and balance. That's good. We have suppression. So I feel like for a lot of you, this person was suppressing things for a very long time that are bubbling up to the surface. You know, maybe they were suppressing the fact that they were overindulging in certain things, or there was a lack of balance. Interesting, we have cowardice, no courage, afraid to tell the truth, afraid to do the right thing. I'm going to confirm all these. This person could have had, could have been afraid to feel things, afraid to cry, afraid to admit they were wrong. We have warrior, awakened warrior of the heart, surrendering to ego and struggle, reconnecting with the heart and the divine, returning to love. And I feel like, remember what I said, most men run away screaming. They approach that mirror, never-ending story, they approach it. He talked about how they approach that mirror thinking that they have everything figured out, but the mirror can see through them. You know what I'm getting at there. So I feel like in the past, this person was overindulging to avoid. They were suppressing things. Didn't have the courage to look at that reflection that you were reflecting back to them. But the last card in the row, they're awakening. Something deep inside them is awakening. Karma, karmic lessons. Overindulgence. Guidance from higher self. You had a very similar card. Guidance from higher self, spirit, trusted friends, family, anyone with wisdom. That giving gift, Six of Pentacles, maybe they are receiving help on their journey right now from someone, from a healer. So right now somebody's giving them advice about this. We also had that faded card with the tarot reader on it, so maybe they're watching tarot. And tarot is supposed to reflect back to you things that you can work on, right? They could have had someone karmic in their life, right? Karmic lessons. Didn't you have a very similar card? Anyway, you did. You had the same card. Providing personal growth and self-improvement required for their soul's journey. And our ego hears karmic, sees a karmic, and we think, oh, like we internalize it. That person is there for a reason, to teach them a lesson. Anyway, getting guidance from someone here. Let's get one more for that one. Divine masculine. Could be, maybe it's a divine masculine. We have knowledge here. This is reminding me of that reading I did the other day for that divine masculine collective. Knowledge. So they could be connecting, advice. They could actually be connecting with another divine masculine, like someone in divine masculine energy. Or someone on this journey who's giving them advice. Or it says, trying to better understand the connection with the divine feminine by reading books, searching the internet, watching readings. So, right now, in solitude, reflecting and working on bettering themselves through mind, body, and spirit. Guidance from higher self, spirit, trusted family or friends, someone with wisdom. Awakening this divine masculine within them, journeying back to self. And I always say this, it's not surprising that this is coming out because look at your energy. Gift. And seeing the gift of the journey. Seeing how this journey is transforming them, like you, seeing the gift of the journey. We do have communication and truth, so just watch out for that comeback text, right? Mind your boundaries. And know that it might not, just because you hear from this person, right? Stay grounded. Not every point of contact is a reunion. Suppression. What have they been suppressing? What have they been suppressing? That was so weird. That one didn't want to come out. Yeah, look, they've been trying to suppress reaching out to you. Courage, psyching themselves up to make a move towards you. The comeback, right? Psyching themselves up. Listen to the crows out there. Music, same row as yours. So maybe they were avoiding certain kinds of music because it made them think of you. Right? And what did I say when this card came out? I said, be careful about what music you're listening to. But I said, when I feel sad, I love to listen to sad music. When I need to like get emotions out of me, I put on sad music or I watch a sad movie and I cry. I ugly cry. And I feel suppression. This person has been avoiding music, suppressing emotions. Maybe anytime a song came on, or maybe they had playlists that they just couldn't listen to, right? I've had that happen to me where there's certain songs I cannot listen to. But messages being received through song lyrics, so emotions that they've been suppressing, music that they've been avoiding listening to that would bring up these emotions, bring them out of them, they're now surrendering to. We have surrender. Letting go of negativity, listening to higher self, shifting out of ego and into soul self. This is good. This is good. Coward. No courage. Now all I can see is that little man from that movie. They run away screaming. Cowardice. Telepathy. Interesting. No courage, afraid to tell the truth. I feel like this person was denying they had a telepathic connection with you. Interesting lesson. But no courage, afraid to tell the truth, afraid to do the right thing. And maybe you were picking up on this. Able to hear each other's thoughts and converse mentally. Able to sense each other's feelings and moods. You could have even seen this, right? I said there's something about that movie that keeps coming out, right? Where they run away screaming from their own reflection. They don't have the strength to truly look at themselves, right? That's what the guy in the Never-Ending Story was saying. I feel like you knew this about them with this telepathic card, with this telepathy card. You know, maybe if this person has been in an energy of no, like afraid to do the right thing, afraid to reach out, maybe your higher self has been guiding them to find that courage. I'm hearing Say Something, that song. Say something, I'm giving up on you. And yeah, it makes me sad when people, I'm going to say it again. It makes me incredibly sad when people are like, I'm giving up on this journey. Because do you know what you're saying? It's not about them. When you say you're giving up on this journey and you're done, that's fine, if that's you, right? But you're essentially saying you're giving up on yourself. And maybe you should start saying that. Right? Instead of saying, I'm done with this person. If you truly, like, I don't know. I think if that's truly you, I said it the other day in a reading, maybe you're not actually a counterpart. Don't take the label just because you feel an intense bond. Because it's about you. Again, it just breaks my heart when people have that, I'm done with this. I'm done with that person. I'm a divine feminine, but I'm done with them. It's like you're saying you're done with yourself. One more for that one. Picky. Grieving. You could feel this, I bet. You can probably feel this. Feeling the loss of this relationship or a recent relationship, romantic or platonic, and their old life. So it is hard to lose, like it is hard to wake up and start to, like this says grieving their old life. So clearly they were holding on to that version of themselves really tightly, which is now starting. People, situations falling away. Like they've got someone good, someone they're getting advice from here that's good. I like that. Again, for some of you, it could be another divine masculine or another masculine counterpart on this journey that they've aligned with, or watching readings. But you'd be able to feel this grief because we have the telepathy card. So you would pick up on that, I think. Right? Like in yesterday's reading when I was, oh my gosh, I just wanted to go curl up in a ball and cry. Warrior, I like that card. Warrior. Warrior, Atreyu was a warrior. That movie's magic. Divine feminine. Sacred feminine. Masculine recognizes, I appreciate the people who support my healing journey. You are supporting their healing journey, even energetically. Masculine recognizes the feminine and the connection home. You had the same card, but the masculine card. Beautiful. Separation. So they had to lose you to go through this ascension. And that's why I say stop, like, don't deny the separation, right? Just give into it. Just embrace it. Just embrace the separation, right? And And I'm not going to tone down my light when I'm speaking passionately. I understand having a wound about yelling. I get it, right? I grew up in a house, there was a lot of yelling. And my entire life, any type of heightened noise, whether it was happy noise, passionate noise, including sexy time. I can't believe I'm telling you that. Or yelling would trigger me. Anything like that felt like it was heightened, right? I talk about this, about how I was sitting right here, nothing on my walls, nothing in my room. And I could hear my kids and their dad playing downstairs, and they were screaming, and I had a panic attack, and they were only having fun. So for those of you who feel like I'm yelling at you, I'm not going to dim my light. This is who I am. I'm being my authentic self. Stop telling people not to be their authentic selves. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. It just boggles my mind. And if you're feeling triggered by someone speaking passionately or being loud while they're laughing, that's a wound within you that you can heal. But anyway, the separation, it needs to happen. And so many people try and hold on, right? And try and avoid the separation. But this is where the magic happens. And I think right now, there's a lot going on their side. Look at the difference in the space on this card. Like, they have a lot of space here compared to the feminine. And this is what they're going through. They're awakening to the warrior of their heart, surrendering to ego and struggle. We're programmed to believe that, like, separation is bad, or that a breakup is permanent, right? We're meant to fear those things. We're programmed to believe if they loved me, they would. On this journey, the separation is so important. One more for that one. We have wearing a mask. So this person in the past was wearing a mask. And now their mask is coming off, their ego, right? That mask is coming off. And that's what this separation is doing. I think that you knew that. I think that you saw through the mask. That mask is falling. One more for that one. Like it even says, surrendering ego and struggle. We have struggle on the bottom, and we have a mask right here, confirming that that's what they're releasing, those things. One more. Revelation about the mask that they were wearing. How it made them trapped and stuck. Light bulb. Something big has been revealed to them physically and or emotionally. Light bulb. Ace of Swords. In separation. Again, I always say you can't see it clearly when you're looking at it this close, right? All right. Tarot for your person. I grabbed, so 555 on the timer as I said that. So I really got to organize my space. I need to put up a new shelf. I need to organize my space. No, I want to. I'm going to stop saying that. Right? I'm trying to reprogram some of the ways I phrase things. And I heard this and I tried it for a while and it was really good. But then I fell off the wagon. Instead of saying I need to do this and I have to do this, I want to do this. I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm looking forward to organizing my space. Anyway, Remember I grabbed the highly sensitive tarot for you? And I said there's 2 versions. So I thought it would be fun to grab the other version for your person, highly sensitive tarot on Etsy. So 1 shuffle and then we'll just have a look at your person. And then I'll get a few of those Intuit channeled messages I have. 3 of Cups. So they could be calling in healthier friendships right now. They could be getting advice from a trusted friend. That's really good. Wheel of Fortune, making changes. People are destined to come into our life at the right time. And you know, I was hearing that comeback might just be a social reach out where they say, hey, I was thinking about you, or they wish you a happy birthday or whatever. And they say, here are the changes I've been making, right? Just wanted to let you know I'm working on my stability. All right, their energy. Nice, Temperance, beautiful. Balancing their energy. Yeah, I don't think they've let you go. Having higher standards for themselves, Queen of Swords, learning how to speak their authentic truth. Again, they could be, I'm almost seeing this as you a little bit because you had boundaries, right? This person is also looking at this logically, Queen of Swords, not letting their emotions overshadow their judgment. And this Temperance is giving me the energy of healing, re-examining the priorities they've chosen, things they've put on the back burner, right? Healing, patience, not wanting to rush things, not letting their fear, worry, doubt cause them to rush in and give you some small ass crumb, right? Looking at this logically, gaining knowledge, I'm hearing. I didn't mention any signs anyway, doesn't matter. I usually see every zodiac sign in these readings, so their energy, that's a lot. Judgment, heeding the inner call, healing, self-evaluation, waking up. 8 of Pentacles, working on themselves, that's good. That's good. Maybe they've gone to a spiritual retreat or something. I want to do that. King of Wands, this is good. Taking control of their life, right? This is good. More stable than that Knight of Wands, that's for sure. Taking control of their life. Ace of Swords, breakthrough. I'm seeing Tangled. What is that song where they're in the boat with all the lanterns? All I can hear is the song from the Polar Express. There's a crossed wire up there. I have confidence in acting towards my goals and dreams, your person. Ace of Swords moment. Knowledge, right? Knowledge. Breakthrough moment. Epiphany. Breaking through the veil. Oh my gosh. Before I started this reading, my cat was sitting on the window. I meant to mention this. My cat is getting older and he really wasn't doing well. So I brought him up here and I've been pouring all of my loving energy into him the way I did when I was a kid and I had a sick animal. Not that I don't do that anyway, but I've like got the power of belief, right? So I've just been pouring all my energy into him, loving on him, really babying him. He's gaining weight. He's doing better. Anyway, today he was looking up at the window and I thought, oh, I'll lift him up onto the windowsill. And one of my dogs ripped my sheer curtain. So it's like ripped halfway down. Anyway, my cat was sitting in the window and he turned around and looked at me and he had the sheer curtain over his face. He was looking at me and the sheer curtain was right here. and then he stuck his head through the little rip in it and like came through this sheer curtain, and I heard like seeing through the veil, breaking through the veil. Anyway, that's what I'm getting from your person. Ace of Wands, inspired action, taking control of their life. But patience, they're not rushing it. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. For some of you, maybe they already sent this message and you didn't respond, right? I don't even know if you care about that. Honing their skills, 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. How are they feeling about you? Ace of Pentacles. Oh, 111, 222 on the timer as I said that. The Devil. You've released attachment. You've released them energetically. You, very self-aware. They definitely want a new opportunity, but they know it needs to be a long-lasting one. Ace of Pentacles, right? Stability. You working on a new opportunity, perhaps. You could be doing something online. Very confident. Like, look at the confidence in that person. Eating your yogurt or noodles or whatever that is. What are you eating? Ice cream, noodles, yogurt? I've always got food on my brain. I don't even eat that much food, which is hilarious. There's a lot of aces here. Wheel of Fortune. There's a lot of ones here. Wheel of Fortune, for how they feel about you. You've changed. And again, I feel like they know, logically, they know if they were to come back in, they would have to come in with stability and showing you that they've changed. And remember, I'm getting the energy that this person, that comeback message is more about telling you, I just wanted to let you know that I am changing, but I need more time. Fated connection. The Hierophant. Maybe they're learning from you. Maybe they're getting advice about you, right? Maybe they're going to a counselor or a therapist. I went on that rant about the therapist. And nothing against therapists. That could be symbolic. Cello. Cello. Maybe you play the piano, or maybe they play the piano. Anyway. Maybe they know that you want like you've released them. You want something more traditional, something more secure, marriage perhaps. How are they feeling about you? How are they feeling about you? The Magician, your magic. Page of Swords, they could definitely like wanting more information on you, or like sending a small message, right? They could be wanting to send you a small message. Like I keep saying it, I'm going to stop saying it now. Learning about you, perhaps. Maybe they're watching you. Page of Swords. But the Magician, there's like this energy of wanting to communicate with you. Whatever you're creating, they could be watching you, whatever you're creating online. But you, magic, you, they think that, like, for how they feel about you, you have willpower, you're proactive, you take action towards your dreams, right? You make it happen. We have the Emperor. For how they feel about you, you standing in your masculine strength, not being afraid to go after what you want. And again, I feel like this person feels if they were to come back, they would have to come back in that Emperor energy, right? You are being your own protector and provider. You could be building an empire here. Maybe you work in construction, or your person does. June 14th could be symbolic. One more for how they feel about you. Oh, I'm hearing the Chariot. So they do see you moving forward. King of Cups, the highest form of love there is. You, very emotionally mature. You could be a healer, an advisor. You could be good with horses. Horses could be symbolic. I've mentioned horses a few times. What was I going to say about... I don't know, the Chariot for how they feel about you. So again, there's this energy of wanting to take action, seeing you moving forward with your life. King of Cups, highest form of love there is. Three of Cups, are they watching you online? For how, again, it keeps coming through. I don't want to repeat myself, but for how they're feeling about you, like seeing you having fun, celebrating, spending time with friends, working on hobbies. I definitely feel like this person, oh, I know what I was hearing. I was hearing that line from As Good As It Gets. You make me want to be a better person. I'm going to use person. This is how they feel about you. So moving forward, right? Like they feel like you're moving forward. You're not waiting. You're celebrating things, having a good time, friendships, hobbies. Again, they could definitely be thinking about, very curious about what you're up to, Page of Cups. Very curious about what you're up to. Wanting to like socially check in is what I'm hearing. What is still blocking them? The Lovers. What is still blocking them? Disharmony, an imbalance of energy, still not aligned. The Lovers needing to make a choice. The Lovers needing to take accountability for something they're not yet ready to take accountability for. But it just feels like there's still an imbalance of energy here. That's what I'm talking about, like energetic frequency, right? If you're up here and they're down here, there's going to be resistance. Still work that they have to do on themselves. One more for what's blocking them. You know, the thing that, this has just been staring up at me this whole time. Apology, right? The Lovers. Something they need to take accountability for that they haven't. For what's blocking them, the Three of Swords. Apology. Maybe they're still having a hard time, realizations, forgiving themselves for the way they treated you. There's still things they need to heal here. The Tower for what's still blocking them. There's still foundational shifts that have to happen. Internal change, I'm hearing. What do you need to know about them? What do you need to know about them? King of Pentacles, they are maturing, working on their stability. Rawr, I'm so upset. I lost a part. I can't remember where I was. I was talking about the apology. I recorded a whole other part, and when I went to pause it to get channeled messages, I deleted it. Like a... So let me back up here. I talked about what was blocking them, right? I feel like we talked about these cards. A need to heal, apology, taking accountability. Anyway. And then I asked what you needed to know about this person. And we have King of Pentacles on the bottom. So this person is focused on their stability. They are maturing. We also have the King of Swords. And I was saying with the King of Swords, right, this person, maybe they're not ready to emotionally open up yet. They could still be protecting themselves emotionally, but gaining clarity. I'm also seeing them over, like, they're still like in the cold, right? But they're overcoming obstacles because those mountains, intuitive reader, this is an intuitive deck. Those mountains are in the background, in the distance, in the past. I was also saying that the King of Swords, we have the Page of Pentacles here. So someone, I think there's someone helping them on their journey. For some of you, it could be a reader. Because the King of Swords does talk about getting advice from someone, a teacher, someone with more knowledge. I do think they're looking at this very logically right now, but in a balanced, logical way. Like, it's not like they're throwing so much logic at it that it's like healthy logic. Like, logically, I shouldn't go in until I'm in this type of energy, or until I'm more stable, or until I'm ready to apologize, or whatever it is. This Page of Pentacles came out. And that person has tarot cards, right? So what I was hearing, because this is what you need to know about them, is that they could actually be gaining more knowledge, gaining more insights from exploring new things. This can be the study of magic, right? So they could be opening up to spirituality, or opening up to a tarot. Like, they could be opening up to tarot. They could be aligning with tarot, learning about this. And Page of Pentacles, I was saying, let's not waste time thinking about the past. It's gone. That video's gone. There's nothing I can do about it. So let's just move on. I don't know why I'm talking like that. But right now, for what you need to know about this person, this is just a little seed, right? A little plant baby. This needs time to blossom, right? So there may be silence right now, right? There may be a small offer that comes in where they say, there's growth here, right? I'm working on my growth, but I still need time. That's okay. To me, that shows maturity. And the way that triggers people when I say that is very telling. Four of Swords in reverse. You had the same card. So this person is waking up. And again, waking up to magic, I'm hearing. Maybe they went to some kind of festival where there was a tarot reader, or I don't know why I'm seeing Only You. Do you guys remember that movie where she goes to a fortune teller and the fortune teller tells her the name of her future love? Marissa Tomei. Oh my gosh, I love that movie. Whoops. Four of Swords in reverse. Awakening, clarity, right? Their spiritual awakening, I'm hearing, healing. Something's being ignited within them. But they need more time is what I'm hearing. So now I'm going to pause it and go get channeled messages without deleting it. April 18th could be symbolic. All right, channeled messages from this deck. Channeled messages from this deck. Okay, there's a lot coming out. I'm trying to understand how my thoughts create my reality. I know I need to stay positive. Are you? Are you? I don't bring this deck out just any time, right? I usually bring out this deck when I'm picking up on energy like yours. So, your thoughts do create your reality. Are you staying positive? We need to wait for divine timing. Time is healing our wounds and creating the perfect conditions for our return. And you know that perfect timing. Same person, like you had I used the other deck for you. You had that clock. You're trusting in divine timing. And if not, you should be. I'll go over numbers in a minute. I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be with you for good. That could be why there may be that comeback message, right? Again, you don't have to wait for anyone. But clearly that's putting some fear into them. You're the Queen of Wands, right? Glowing, attracting a lot of attention. So we have these two coming out together. Mirrors, our inner guidance is clear, but our ego is resisting it. With we are one, don't let fear get in the way of this truth. So are you letting fear get in the way of this? Right? They say separation is an illusion. So we are one, don't let fear get in the way of this. So both of you could still have a little bit of fear and doubt, or somebody else could be putting fear and doubt into you, right? So we have 1, 10, 10, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, 11, 11. Anyway, so October 10th could be symbolic. October 11th, October 1st, November 10th, October 8th, November 10th, November 8th, January 18th, January 8th, January 10th, 1981. We have, sometimes I feel like you're speaking to me in my head. At times it triggers me because I wonder how much can you see into me. Telepathic message. Remember listening to music as well, so they could feel like there's certain songs. Anyway. Yes, as twin flames, we are here to ascend and help others do the same. Mission. If you are a true twin flame, you have a mission. To help others ascend, to help others believe, to help others break free from the matrix. Communication. I wish I could say what I really feel. Someday I will, but right now I'm afraid to be myself. So yeah, you don't want that anyway. The mask, right? Like, look at that. And it's coming in right underneath, I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be with you for good. So if they come in with that small offer, right, just know that it's almost like they want you to know that they are working on themselves. I'm hearing so that you don't give up on them. But anyway. I hear a dog squeaky toy. October 9th could be symbolic. September 10th, June 1st, January 6th, 1961, 2009, 2010 I was hearing. August 9th, September 8th, 1998, 1989. That actually goes there. 2 more. Clear the illusions of the 3D world. Separated or together, we are working in tandem with each other. Mirrors. I always feel like a creep peeking around. I just want to make sure it's in focus. For now on, I'm just gonna put it right over my face. I need to move slowly with this, but trust that I am moving even when it seems I am not. That's giving Knight of Pentacles energy, right? Is that working? Is it working? Test, test. I feel union. I feel our energy merging together as if it has a life of its own. We are becoming one again. And I think, you know, it's about energy. It's about frequency. It's about vibrations, right? Anyway. And I wish I knew what that song was that they were playing. It's a song, We're Going Down. Na 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 na. What song is that? I don't know. 7, clear the illusions of the 3D world. Don't take everything at face value. And we get stuck on that, right? We get stuck on what we can see in the 3D. There's a lot more going on spiritually and energetically than you can see. Just believe it. Fuck. No, I don't know where that came from. Maybe that came from you. 77 could be symbolic. July 7th. 72, 77. July 27th, July 2nd. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 1 more. 4. We are alchemists. True. We transform fear into love and shadow into light. Communication. When our conversations are lighthearted and playful, it eases the tension that is sometimes there when we talk. I keep seeing that comeback. So if it, Three of Cups, right? The comeback card, Three of Cups, could be just a surface level check-in. Here's how I am. I'm not ready yet, right? This is a growth card. I'm looking for a way out of this situation so I can be free. So they're in some sort of situation. Either it's a mindset. This is all about growth. So it could be a pattern, it could be a living situation, a job, a layer. My inner child was wounded when my parents couldn't respond to me in the way I needed them to. I am reacting from that wound, right? And that's what I say, like, you're not reacting from the actual whatever's happening in the present moment. You're reacting from that childhood place where you were wounded. Patterns having to do with wounded inner child. So however they were responding to you, reacting to you, right? Realizing that it was about their parents, not about you. For example, if I am grateful for how loved I am. That's the affirmation. But if their mom didn't know how to give them nurturing energy, if their mom was cool, cold, and they needed that comfort and their mom didn't know how to give it to them, right? And then you tried to give them nurturing energy, they could have reacted. And we have growth. I'm realizing this connection is special and something worth treasuring. And look at how that feminine is like eyes closed, looking away, like just interesting. Ocean Grove, August 26th, 8 p.m., 1907 NJ. If that's symbolic to anyone, I've never looked at that. November 2nd, November 23rd, November 25th, November 24th. November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 here. February 11th, February 3rd, February 5th, February 4th. March 2nd, March 11th, March 5th, March 4th, March 25th or 24th. May 4th, May 3rd, May 2nd, May 11th, May 24th or 23rd, April 5th, April 3rd, April 2nd, April 11th, April 23rd, April 25th, 2011 could be symbolic. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here, my friends. I may or may not be here tomorrow. I got to focus on some personal readings tomorrow, so I may or may not be here for a reading on YouTube. I might just not do one tomorrow so that I can focus on personal readings and get caught up, but we'll see. I may or may not be here, but anyway, thank you for spending time with me. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.